DJ Matt's teacher in the house, ripping the mic the way I do, bringing you numbers from another dimension. Learn them well so they make some sense. If you don't learn them well, that's why you look so tense. Learn them well, you get an exemption. Okay, that was a little something there for the intro. I know you are laughing your guts out now, but hey, you know what? Creativity. Okay, I'll keep working on that, and hopefully, I'm not promising anything. Hopefully, next time, if there is a next time, it will be much better than today. I hope you enjoyed it. Welcome back, everybody. Today we are continuing with quadratic equations. We are looking at now how to solve quadratic equation if you have a coefficient in front of your a. Right. So we know normally that our standard equation or standard quadratic equation is given by y is equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. So far what we've done is we have made the a to be positive, and in fact we've made the a to be 1. What happens if a is not 1? What do we do then? This is what we want to do today. Let's do some practice. Okay, going back to your practice book on page 56, please. Exercise 13.8. And here we go. The first question for 4 marks this time. Solve the following quadratic equations where possible. First equation we are asked to solve is 2x squared plus 8x plus 6 is equals to 0. So we realize that this is a trinomial. Awesome. And we have an inkling, we have an idea that if it's a trinomial and it's in descending powers of x, then we have to factorize synthetically. Cool. What we did was, or what we are going to do in this case is the following. 1. Try and see if you can divide all the terms by a common factor. 2x squared plus 8x plus 6. What is my common factor? 2. Well done. So divide all the terms by the common factor. 2x squared divided by 2 is going to just be x squared. 8x divided by 2, it's going to be 4x. 6 divided by 2, that's going to be 3. So now we have a nicer equation to factorize than that first gory, horrible equation that we didn't even know where to start with. So then we can apply our factorization methods as we used in the previous lesson. So here we go. So put 2 brackets. That's equals to 0. Factors of x squared first are x and x. Factors of 3 that will give you a 4 are 3 and 1. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. So my factors of 3 that will give me a 4 when I add or subtract them are 3 and 1. So the signs. The bigger number must take the sign of the middle term. That's going to be a plus. If the last term is a positive, both signs must be the same. So that's going to be a plus as well. Therefore, x is equals to minus 3 according to our zero factor theorem, or x is equals to negative 1. First one squashed and done. Boom. Question 2. Solve the following quadratic equation where possible. Question 2 for 4 marks is 3x squared plus 4x mine is equals to negative 1. Still taken from page 56, I beg your pardon, exercise 13.8, exam focus questions. Right, so first thing we want to do is to standardize this equation. Standardize it by bringing the 1 from the right hand side of the equal sign to the left hand side. It becomes a positive 1, and on the right hand side we don't have anything, so we just put a 0. So we've got 3x squared plus 4x plus 1 is equals to 0. This is a very interesting question because now we can't do what we did there. We cannot divide all the terms by 2. We cannot divide all the terms by 2 here because 2 is not a common factor. In fact, we can't divide by 3. We can't divide by... These terms do not have a common factor. So we leave them as they are and we factorize by inspection. So we do a trial and error method. Right. I'm going to do a trial and error method. Mine is going to be right because I know how to do this, but I'm going to do a trial and error method and I'm going to be explaining to you what not to be scared of whilst you are doing it. So put your 2 brackets down as usual. It's equals to 0. Factors of 3x squared. What 2 factors were multiplied to give you 3x squared? So I'm going to put 3x and x. 3x multiplied by x gives me a 3x squared. Factors of 1, that's a no-brainer. It's 1 and 1. So factors of 1, it's 1 times 1. Note, I didn't say this time factors of 1, that will give you a 4 when you add or subtract it, because I know that there aren't any. 1 and 1 will only give you a 2, or 1 minus 1 will give you a 0. So I'm not even worried about that. However, because I've got a different thing there, I've got a 3 there, I've got a little bit of some faith that this will work out. In fact, this we need to prove when we are done. Working on our signs, the bigger number must take the sign of the middle term. Both these numbers are the same. There's no bigger on any of them. So I'm just going to put a plus and a plus there. Therefore, I've got 3x plus 1 is equals to 0, or x plus 1 is equals to 0. And if I solve for x there, I'll find my answer to be minus 1 over 3. And x is equals to negative 1. Now let's just go back and do some proofs there. Okay. Sorry about that. It's just picking up my pen lid. It's getting dry. Right. Let's just do some proof there. Let's take that part of the equation. I want to prove that these factors are correct. I want to prove that these factors will give me back that expression. Or rather this expression at the top. So I've got 3x plus 1 times x plus 1, and that's equals to 0. How am I going to prove this? What am I going to use? With which method am I going to use to prove this? Yes, I am going to use the FOIL method. Okay, just to remind you, FOIL method, you multiply the first terms first, you multiply outer terms, you multiply inside terms or inner terms, and you multiply the last terms together, and then you add your like terms if you have any. So let's do that. First terms first. 3x times x gives me a 3x squared. Outer terms, 3x and 1 are the outside terms or outer terms. 3x times 1 will give me a 3x. Inside terms, 1 times x will give me an 1x, if you like. And the last terms, 1 times 1, which will give me a 1. All of this is equals to 0. Now I'm going to check if I've got any like terms, and I'm going to add those. So I can see that my middlemost terms, the 3x and the x, are like terms. I can add those. So I have my 3x squared plus, add 3x and x, that will give me a 4x plus 1, and that's equals to 0. And there you go. Proof that this will be equals to that. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this presentation today. I'm going to give you a challenge. On page 57, please do questions 3 up to questions 10 in your mathematics book. Again, please put the title at the top, put your date as well. They always date your work, and put your title. And just the last challenge, I'm going to challenge you. I want you, the next time when we meet, I want you to make up a maths poem that you are going to perform in front of everybody if you want to. Okay, I will work on mine as well. Just so everything is fair, I will work on my maths poem and then I will perform mine first. You can laugh at me all you want, and then you'll have your chance to work on yours. Thank you very much. Please stay safe and take care. Bye.